Hi guys, my name is Miguel Teixeira, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll analyze some tactical patterns of Arsenal during their offensive phase. Arsenal organizes in a 1-4-3-3 formation when in possession and initially presents a structure of 4+1 during the build-up phase. The defensive midfielder acts as a reference behind the opponent's first line of pressure, while the attacking midfielders serve as references behind the opponent's midfield line. As possession circulates, Calafiori joins Jorginho centrally, moving behind the first line of pressure, allowing Arsenal to build with a 3+2 structure. When the ball reaches the wide players in this first line of three, Partey or Gabriel, the attacking midfielder on the ball side moves from inside to outside to exploit the space created behind the pressing defender. We'll take a closer look at this dynamic shortly. Once again, Calafiori positions himself in central areas. This positioning allows Arsenal to have another option to progress through the central corridor. As we see in this instance, when the opposing winger follows his movement, Arsenal successfully drags the opponent into the central corridor, freeing up the wide channel to accelerate the game through Gabriel. Now, with Gabriel in possession and the opposing winger in a more central area, the attacking midfielder on the ball side for Arsenal moves from inside to outside to exploit the space generated in the wide corridor, now behind the opponent's midfield line, allowing for progression up the pitch. To enable the attacking midfielder to receive unmarked in the wide corridor, Arsenal employs a very interesting dynamic between the attacking midfielder and the winger, which I refer to as a double width. Sterling's positioning wide and higher up the pitch helps pin the opposing fullback in that area, creating the necessary conditions for Rice to receive freely in the wide corridor and behind the opponent's midfield line, allowing him to immediately attack the opponent's back line. Once again, Calafiori fixes the opposing winger in central zones, while Arsenal moves the ball to find Gabriel free outside the Southampton defensive block. Gabriel has space to progress with the ball. This time, as the Southampton midfielder drops deeper instead of pressing Gabriel, Arsenal keeps only Sterling wide, while Rice and Havertz move to become options centrally and between the opponent's lines. When Arsenal struggles to find advantages to progress, the players have no issue holding and maintaining possession, establishing themselves in the opponent's midfield. From this position, the team moves the ball to create imbalances and, consequently, advantages for progression. In higher areas, Calafiori has the freedom to move and join Rice and Havertz behind the opponent's midfield line. This movement into the space behind the midfield line provides additional support for the ball carrier to break through the opponent's midfield, but it can also, as in this case, force the opposing winger to join the central midfielder to close the central corridor. In these moments, Arsenal reactivates its double width dynamic, with Saka pinning the opposing fullback in higher areas of the pitch, while Havertz moves from inside to outside to try to receive unmarked. In this case, Southampton's midfield line manages to reorganize and prevent Arsenal from progressing up the pitch. In these moments, Arsenal's three-man line becomes crucial for providing security support to the ball carrier. From there, receiving the ball freely and facing the game, Arsenal showcases very interesting dynamics through opposite movements between players to draw markers and gain space in depth to accelerate the game. To conclude, let's analyze one last clip that demonstrates once again Arsenal's ability to break down low blocks from opponents. Here, Arsenal maintains its references inside and outside the opponent's block and uses the movement of the ball to create imbalances in the opponent's setup and, consequently, advantages for the team to accelerate the game. With this 3+2 structure, Arsenal shows the intention to use the second line, Calafiori, and Jorginho to pin the players from the opponent's midfield line in more central areas of the pitch, thus creating spaces to initiate their usual double-width dynamic in the wide corridors. After Havertz's acceleration, Southampton manages to reorganize defensively again, with their midfield line recovering its position. Here, Arsenal has no problem holding the ball and utilizing their support options to look for advantages in other areas. Now, with Partey facing the game, we can see a standard dynamic from Arsenal to break low defensive blocks. The defensive midfielder moves closer to the ball carrier, positioning himself between the players of the midfield line to facilitate a penetrating pass. Before this, Arsenal often uses a lateral pass, which we will see now. This pass serves to draw the defenders forward and concentrate their attention on the ball movement, while Arsenal's more advanced players move into space to exploit the gaps created between the defenders. It seems simple, but the frequency and quality with which Arsenal uses this lateral pass to attract the attention of the defenders and free up spaces for the deeper players showcase a lot of work by Mikel Arteta. This concludes the video, and if you enjoyed this type of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.